Welcome to this week's TDD Weekly Report for the week ending October 9th. First up, some of you may have been fortunate enough to actually get a glimpse of the Google Street Map car, the one that gives you the street views as it's driving around. Well, there's another car similar, and as far as people know, it's been operating since November. It looks like the Google Street car, but it's actually a robot car that drives itself. Now, Google's been operating these up to, they claim they've operated them a total of around 140,000 miles on public roads. They have a driver that is actually driving these things behind the wheel and also a technician, so it's not like these cars are totally empty. And they've driven quite a few of the different states. This article is out of the Register. The reason I picked this, I've seen it on several articles about this particular vehicle, but in the middle of this article is a Vimeo video posted by a user that actually was able to drive up on one of these cars and get a pretty good view of it. Evidently, they have captured some of the best talent from the DARPA challenges. If you followed any of the DARPA challenges, that's where teams from universities usually, but also other places, get together and design a vehicle that can negotiate courses and go mileage through different scenarios to win a DARPA prize. So they've actually grabbed some of the best talent from that to design these cars, and they say it's something that's not going to be available soon, but maybe 8 years from now it might be something we'll actually see on the roads as a practical matter. So it still must be in the testing stage, but I'll post a link to this article, and there is also the video of it in the middle of the article. Next up, this has been going on for a lot of years, the honeybees and the colony collapse disorder, and there hasn't been a lot of really huge breakthroughs on this until recently. Texas Tech University has a biologist, Shan, if I'm pronouncing this right, hopefully, Shan Moria, actually worked on discovering that it may be two different things killing the bees. It may be a double hit that these bees can't take, and the one thing would be a virus, and it's a moth virus. It's called the insect iridescent virus, IIV6, and in combination with a fungal parasite called Nosema. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but it may be the double hit, and what they've been doing is examining the dead bees to see what particular diseases they're infected with. And they're also claiming too that since there is no cause and effect proven yet, this is just still speculation, but it's one of the best leads they've had recently. And this article is out of eScience News, and I will have the link to this. It's a pretty good article. It's not real super long, but if you are interested in the colony collapse disorder or bee pollination or even into gardening, you've probably noticed, like I have too, there haven't been too many honeybees around, and it would be nice if we got a lead on something to take care of this problem that's devastating certain bee colonies. I got a request for a little bit more in-depth study on this from a comment last week on my TDD report. This is the star Gliese 581. I guess you pronounce it Gliese. I guess it's pronounced according to the science. You're supposed to pronounce it Gliese 581, and the planet is Gliese 581g. This planet orbits around a star about 20 light years from us. Now, this planet's in the habitable zone. Even though it's a small red dwarf star, it orbits quite a bit closer than Earth actually. But another thing about this planet, it has a 37-day year, and it is in a tidal lock, which means just like the moon faces the Earth because it's in a lock with us, this planet is in a lock with the sun. So the one side faces all the time. So there's like a hot side and a cold side to this planet. They claim that, some scientists have actually claimed that there's a 100% chance of life on this planet, but this article seems to be a little bit more scientific, the one at least on USA Today. There's two different articles. One of them includes a video, so that makes it kind of interesting too to listen to the scientists talk about it. They say it's possible we could actually, with our technology, send a probe to this star and to actually visit the planet. Only problem is, with our fastest probe, it would take 200 years to get there, and then obviously since it's 20 light years away, once the probe gets there, it's going to take, with radio waves traveling at the speed of the light, another 20 years to send back information. But it is doable. It would just take a few people's lifetimes to actually, but it's something we could actually get information on. That was interesting too, that I didn't even know necessarily that it would be within our technology to do, but evidently if we use some of our fastest probes that are nuclear powered, it is actually doable. I'll post the links to two of the different articles. They're both from USA Today. The one has some really good video, and then the other one has a pretty good picture of the layout of the solar system that the planets, the star Gliese 581 resides in, with the planets that surround it. And last up this week, this was sent to me by my correspondent in the Northwest, Harry T. Some of you may have seen it. This one comes out of, this article's out of Alaska news source KTUU.com. A couple, I guess that lives near Anchorage, Alaska, because this is where the report's out, decided to build a radio flyer wagon car. And I'll put some pictures up here, and then there's a video on this too. In fact, I guess there's a couple of videos that this article links to. But they took, what was the car they took? It was a 1976 Mazda pickup truck as the chassis, and then on top of that built a reproduction of the same radio flyer wagon that probably a lot of you have had as kids, and they've got it down perfect, everything including the handle, and it's a drivable car. They drive it around town, get lots of comments on it and everything like that. So if you get a chance, check that out, the radio flyer wagon that the couple built. They took them 11 months to build it, so that's not too bad either. So take care, everybody. That's it for this week. I will catch you next week.